Every deck has 26 black cards, 26 red cards. If you got a fantastic memory, you can mix them all up and remember which ones are black and which ones are red. World champion memory experts can memorize a whole deck of cards in under a minute. But I'm about to teach you how to do it in a couple of seconds. And the best part is, I'm even going to teach you how to do it with a borrowed, shuffled deck. Now before I do this, I'm going to quickly flip through the cards to show you that it's not like all the reds and blacks are grouped together or anything. They're really mixed up in the random order from my shuffle and from the order that you all put them in. You can do it with the blindfold. You can do it with their hands pressed up against your eyes. You can do it with their deck of cards. I think I might have got it. All the black cards all over here, and all the red cards all over there. And to think you were worried. Thank you. Yeah, right? You didn't think I could do it. This trick is called binary code, and I think you're going to like it. Most people, they think that you are stuck with the memory you're born with. Not true. It's not true. You can train your memory to get better and better, and memory experts, these are the people who memorize long poems or long names, faces. They're just like you and me. They forget where they put their car keys and their cell phones, but they can train their memory to do really impressive stuff like memorizing playing cards. Oh, here's a deck of cards. How convenient. Do you guys want to see a little demonstration of memory? Okay, so this is different from what I was showing you so far, because this is not a magic trick. This is just a memory demonstration. And I'm going to do it the easy way and the hard way. But before I do, you were impressed with even that. But before I do, I'm really going to shuffle up the cards, and you can see that I'm really mixing them up, right?
Yes.
Right? Because magicians, sometimes we do the false shuffle things. That was not one of them. So we're going to do it the easy way and then the hard way. First, the easy way, and I'm only going to use a couple of cards for this. Let me just take out a couple of cards in particular. You can even look over my shoulder to make sure I'm not doing anything fancy, taking the cards out. And now I should have about 12, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll get rid of these because I didn't want them. Good. The easy way first, then the hard way. We're going to mix these up, and very quickly, I'm going to remember the order. So go ahead, everyone, help me mix these cards up on the table. Just like that.
I do this. I do.
Not you, everyone but you. That was good. And now I'm going to look through them very, very quickly. Try to remember the order. Here we go. Okay. If that worked, we should have all the red cards here and the black cards here. Let's see. There's all the red and there's all the black. Right. Again, this is the easy way. Let's not get excited yet. That's the easy way, which leaves me with one blindfold. And I want you guys to know that these are not special marked cards. Magicians have marked cards. So we're going to do it again, but this time, after the cards get mixed, I'm going to put the blindfold on before we separate them. So again, everyone help me mix the cards here. We're going to mix them up, mix them up. That's good. Gather them up in some order. Good.
I'm gathering?
You're doing a great job of it.
Just jumped out.
All right. And now I'll very quickly memorize the order. Let's see. Are the cards face up or face down?
They're down.
Okay, that's good. All right, here we go. So if I did this right, once again, we should have the reds here and the blacks here. Let's see, all the reds there and all the blacks. Again, this is just the easy stuff. Now it's time to do the real stuff, okay? The real stuff, we're going to use the rest of the deck of the cards. And if you remember, you saw me shuffle them, we shuffled them again, And there's, let's see, 52 minus 20. There's a lot of cards in here, yeah? And I'm going to memorize them all in just 15 seconds. So someone can time me. Here we go.
1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 1,000, 11.
Done. Don't need all the 15 seconds. One of the things that makes this hard is we're using more cards. Also, we're going to make it harder because we're going to mix up the order of the cards before I do it, which means I not only have to memorize the order, but I got to keep track of the order as the cards are getting mixed up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really hard. Let's see how. So we'll do a pile of cards there, maybe a pile there, and some cards there and there and there. Some piles are big, some are small. Okay. Put one of the piles in my hand. Okay. Next pile. Next pile.
Yeah, you got it.
Next pile.
I got it. The little one.
Next.
Mine
Good.
making it hard for yourself.
And I'll do the last one. All right, now before I do this, I'm going to quickly flip through the cards to show you that it's not like all the reds and blacks are grouped together or anything. They're really mixed up in the random order from my shuffle and from the order that you all put them in. Cards are face down, right? This one goes here, this one goes here, and then there's two there. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I just got it. Yeah, sometimes you have to do it. And then one here, and then I think two here, and one there. One. How many are left?
You got, I can't tell.
We'll do
A few.
this one here. And this. That was dramatic.
Yeah, it was.
Let's see how I did. So we're 1 for 1. That was the one. 2 for 2. Every card over here. There's all the black cards. And there's all the red ones.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, right? There we go. That's what I said. That's what I said. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Binary Code. I'm so happy to be sharing this trick with all of you. Thank you. Thank you for buying this trick. I really appreciate it. I love sharing my magic with you, so thank you, thank you. This is a fun trick. You are going to look like a memory expert if you do this trick. And for the main part of the trick, the big second phase where you go through the whole deck, there is no memory work at all involved. In that first part where you remember the 12 cards, you're actually doing that. You're memorizing them. But the good news is you don't got to do that if you don't want to. You can just cut to the big grand finale where you don't actually memorize the cards. And I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. The key to this trick is getting the cards in red-black alternating order. I'm going to teach you one way to do it, but you don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I do it and the way I did it in the trailer. I start out with the cards half red, half black, just like that. And now after I pull the cards out of the box, I'm going to give them a Pharaoh shuffle. Now that's a technique for perfectly shuffling cards so one alternates with the other just like that. And that's going to make them everyone red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. The good news is, if you don't do a Pharaoh shuffle, I was one off. If you don't do a Pharaoh shuffle, you don't have to. You can start out with the cards in this order like this. Red, black, red, black, red, black. And that'll save you the trouble of doing the Pharaoh shuffle. Now, I'm going to do an overhand shuffle, and I'm going to do it twice. And I'm really going to do it. Looks like this. And then I do it again. And now we get into the trick. In the first part of the trick, I memorized the order of 12 cards. I remember which ones are red and which ones are black. So the first step is taking 12 cards out of the deck. And you're going to do this to undo those overhand shuffles that you just did, because you want the cards in red-black alternating order. But when you overhand shuffle the cards like that, the cards aren't going to stay in perfect red-black alternating order. You're going to have a couple groups of 2 red, a couple groups of 2 black, maybe even a group of 3 red, 3 black. So in taking out these 12 cards, you're essentially going to fix the damage that you did to the deck. So let's get a nice tight shot of that. And you can see the order is black, red, black, red, black, red, red, red. So I got 3 reds in a row, and I only want 1 there. So the first 2 cards I take out are going to be those there. And that keeps the deck in the order. Black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red. Now I got 2 black ones, so I'll take out 1. And I go red, black, 2 reds. I'll take out 1 of those. Red, black, red, 2 blacks. Take out 1 of those. And I'll keep going through such that I'm left with a perfectly alternating red-black order. There's 2 blacks together, so I'll take out 1 of those. Red, black, and there we go, all the way to the top. All right, now we've kept the cards in the black-red alternating order, and you can see we've got a black card on top and bottom, which means we're going to take out at least 1 of those. So now it starts with the red, it ends with the black. And we want to have removed 12 cards, so 6 black cards and 6 red. You can see we've got 4 and 4 here, so that means we just got to take out 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the cards are left in perfect black-red alternating order, and you can set them to the side, or you can dribble them across like that, just like this. But if you do that, you'll notice how I've dribbled them in chunks. So now there's a couple of red cards together here. It looks like there's 3 red together, and there are 3 blacks together, then 1 red. And the reason I dribble it in chunks is if the audience were to ever see the cards perfectly spread out, they might notice that perfect black-red alternating order, whereas if I was going to set the cards to the side and do it in the chunks like that, then you would have maybe 2 blacks together or 2 reds together. That's just a bonus tip. You can just set them to the side if you want. And that's going to leave you with 12 cards to memorize. Now, to memorize the cards, you're going to use something that was created by Lewis Jones. It was his memory principle for remembering binary systems. And the truth is, I did not learn Lewis Jones's system properly, so I'm going to teach you Lewis Jones's memory system as I learned and understood it. So if you want to learn the proper way to memorize red-black order, you'll check out the Lewis Jones pattern principle. It was Lewis Jones's idea, and I mislearned it. So I'm going to teach you the wrong version of it for this trick. If you want to check it out yourself, the real version, it is the Lewis Jones pattern principle. And how this works is we're going to memorize cards in groups of 3. There's only 8 different ways that cards, red and black, can lay in groups of 3. And we'll get a nice close shot of them beginning at this pile right here. You can see this is 3 black cards. And we would think of that as none, because there are no red cards. We're going to be looking out for red cards. So this group we would call none. Here, over here, the top card is red. So we'd think of that as top. Over here, the middle card is red. So we would remember that as a middle. Here, the bottom card is red. So we would remember that as a bottom. Now we'll move over here where you can see the outer cards are red. So we'll think of that as outer. Here, we'll call this upper, because the upper 2 cards are red, as opposed to just the top card being red. This one we're going to call lower. It's bottom if it's on the very bottom, but if it's the lower 2, then we'll remember that as lower. And over here, all the cards are red. So to review, we have none, top, middle, bottom, and then we've got outer, upper, lower, all. And what's nice about this is no matter how the cards are mixed up, if we separate them out into groups of 3s, we will always be covered with one of these 8 card formations. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll take out 12 cards here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now let's go through and memorize these for real. Just these 12 cards. First group of 3, we can see the red card is on top. That's top. Next, the red cards are the upper cards. Next, the red cards are all. And next, they're upper. So if we were to look at this stack, we would say top, up, all, up. That's it. Top, up, all, up. And then we would deal them out. We would say top, up, all, up. And then we turn them over. If we did it right, all the red cards would be here, and all the black cards would be there. Now here I did it with 12 cards, more of which were red than black. But you're going to do it with exactly 12 cards, half of which will be red, half of which will be black. So let's go over that a couple of times. All right, we've got 6 red cards and 6 black cards laid out, and we are going to practice memorizing just 12 cards. And that's going to set us up for the main part of the trick, which does not use any memory work at all. And the reason we do this is to convince people that when we get to the second part of the trick, we are actually memorizing the stack of cards. This is priming them for what they are about to see. So here we go. Let's do some practice. We'll take the 6 black, flip them over, the 6 red, flip them over, and then we'll mix them up. And I always like to get everyone involved in the mix-up process, because whenever you can involve someone in a magic trick, especially a card trick, that's great. And whenever you can get everyone involved, that's even better. And shuffling up cards is one of those things everyone can participate in. Everyone can mix up the cards. And now, let's memorize the cards. Here we go. We'll spread them out, and we see all, none, lower, bottom. All, none, lower, bottom. And then when I deal them out, I just deal the red ones to the left and the black ones to the right. And remember, we're always on the lookout for the red cards. Those are the hit cards. That's why when we see 3 red, we say all. We see 3 blacks, we say none, and why this one is lower, because we're doing this relative to the red cards. So all, none, lower, bottom. All, none, lower, bottom. All, none, lower, bottom. And now when we flip the cards over, if we did it right, we should have all the red cards there and all the black cards there. Let's do it one more time. We'll get them mixed up, and everyone will join in that mix-up process. And now we memorize the cards in the stacks of 3. Here we go. We have all, middle, outer, none. All, middle, outer, none. All, middle, outer, none. Now we've got the blacks over there, and we've got the reds over there. Now, it is time for the trick's entree, and if you want, you can take the 12 cards that you just separated into red and black and toss them to the side, or you can put them back on top of the deck. But if you do, you'll have to first put them in black-red alternating order. And there's a pretty easy way to do that. It looks like this. Here you've got all the red cards on top and the black on the bottom, and you're going to simulate an overhand shuffle. And every time you do, you're going to take one card from the top and the bottom and move them to the top of the deck. So you grab it from the top and the bottom, you can see a black and a red, move them to the top of the deck. And it looks like this. And what you're doing is separating those red-black cards into red-black alternating order, and then you can set them on top of the deck. Or, if you don't want to do the trick with the whole deck, after you've separated the first 12 into red and black, you can just toss them aside, doesn't matter. So now we've got this whole deck in red-black alternating order. And what I like to do is dribble the cards like this so people can really see that all the reds and all the blacks are not together. I say, look, you can see the order is totally random because we shuffled them up. I remind them that I shuffled the cards. And now I say, give me 10 seconds or give me 15 seconds to memorize the deck. And I look through them like this. And I'm, of course, not memorizing the cards. What I'm actually doing is making sure that the cards are, in fact, in red-black alternating order and that I didn't make any mistakes, because if I did, when it comes time for the end of the trick, we're going to have an embarrassing moment, and we don't want that. So look through, make sure they're in red-black order, and let's just say, for their sake, they're not. Let's say we got 2 red cards together here and 2 black ones. What I don't want to do is start changing the order of the cards, because then it would become obvious that the order matters. And supposedly, if we're just remembering the order does not matter. So what I do is this. I go until I see a problem, and then I just act like I dropped the cards. Just like that. I drop them out of the red-black alternating pattern, and then I just forget them. Or I can put them on the top or the bottom. But the thing you don't want to do is look through and then start moving cards around like that, because that conveys that the order is important when ostensibly you are memorizing the cards in the order that they lay. Next, we say not only are we memorizing the order, we are going to track the order of the cards as they are mixed up. And what's cool here is the cards really can be mixed as long as the black-red alternating order stays consistent. So what does that mean? It means we can put cards in even piles, and no matter how those piles are mixed up, the cards are going to retain that black-red alternating order. So what I usually do is I start by pushing over 4 cards like this. I set them down, and then I push over 2 cards, which is real easy. And then I push over 6 cards. And that's just so the piles are different sizes. And then the remaining cards, I look at the color of the card on bottom. This is red. And then I riffle down till I see a red card. And then I split the pile off. And then I might do it again. I riffle till I see a red card and split the pile. Now, it doesn't matter how many cards are in each of these piles. The only thing that matters is the bottom card of each pile is red, as you can see.